Yeah, good morning, Samir, and welcome to the interview session. Firstly, I want to thank you for accepting our invitation, despite of your busy schedule and taking the time to speak with me today. My name is Alen Alosious, final year MBA student, from looking forward to learning more about your experiences at Christ deemed to be university and how it has impacted your career. So before we begin, is there anything you would like to discuss before we getting started?
No, not at all. Good morning
Yeah.
to you as well, Ellen. And first of all, thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. Christ is my alma mater, and the association that I've always had when I was at Christ and after, post graduating from Christ, I think has always been there. So extremely pleased to be here with you and looking forward to having a quick conversation with you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So let's begin our session with the first question. So for the better understanding of the audiences, can you give a brief introduction about yourself and your background prior to joining like Christ deemed to be university for the MBA?
Oh yeah, for everybody, yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Samir Akhtar, and I am currently working as the director for partnership marketing in one of the SaaS unicorns called Freshworks. Prior to Freshworks, I have been working in IBM, or I was working in IBM across various capacities for over around 13 years and also SBI Life and Retail function, before I had joined IBM. I had worked across multitude of functions, I would say, especially in the marketing organization all throughout my life, and that would include, field marketing. I've done ops, I've done budgeting, I've done sales coordination, a lot of multitude of functions within a broader marketing organization, I would say. Now, obviously, I've been working the longest in partnership, I would say discipline. And partnership marketing is a function where, just imagine, an organization reaching out to their prospects and their customers via indirect routes, via association of enterprises and companies, right? To basically, and these enterprises and companies sell the products, right, of the organization. So thinking of how Dell or Apple or Indian Oil basically would reach out to their markets, right? So again, thank you for the opportunity, Ellen. Now coming to your specific question, right, about my background joining prior to joining MBA, right? So I have a background, in biotechnology. In fact, I hold a BTech in biotechnology, which was a booming field for anyone with an inclination in biology, I would say at that point in time. I'm talking about early 2000s, right? And then obviously to your question, my inclination to pursue, MBA came not only with my interest in the field of marketing, which was considered to be, somewhat a recession resistant field since recession had kicked in, during that particular time, but also from, also from coming from something that I really wanted to pursue as well, so it was more of my interest plus, something that I thought would be very risk-free to pursue, and always knew about Trice from friends and families. And sitting here, I can certainly say I don't regret a bit of it. So couldn't have been in a better place where, both my aspiration and knowledge could have been combined together. So yeah, that's a little bit about my background. Hope that helps.
Yeah, so you have given a beautiful introduction about yourself. So it's my turn to introduce Samir to you all. So Samir Akhtar is one of the most prominent MBA alumni. He is being with Christ for the entire lifetime of the after passing out from the college also. So he's from the batch 2006 and 2018,
That's right.
where he specialized in marketing. Samir is currently working as he's mentioned, he's director of partner marketing at Freshworks. So
That's right.
I'm going to the second question. How did the MBA program help you to, achieve your personal and professional goals throughout your journey?
Oh, that's a fantastic question, I would say. As they say, I think you would have, Alen, you would have heard this quite a number of times, right? Christ grooms you to be a better citizen, right? Now, obviously, that would include, or that would inculcate both professional and personal, growth as well, right? How do I begin? From the time you join Christ, the intense curriculum that's there, the trimesters, the assignments, the outbound training. How can I forget that? The outbound training, mentorships in the bird park. It used to happen in the bird park at that point in time. Mentorships, industry connect, or the corporate connect as we call it now. Corporate interfaces, the various clubs that you have, all of this, basically hones you, nurtures you, and prepares you for the corporate life, in advance. So yeah, I would say, the time in Christ, the 2 years that we have spent, the 24 months that I have spent in Christ has definitely, made me or honed me or prepared me well for the corporate life to come. But that was not limited to the corporate life, right? I mean, a lot of initiatives that Christ actually rolls out from a humanitarian point of view, right? Or including, outbound training, etc., also prepares you to be a well-rounded individual, right? I mean, in corporate, terms, there is something called as whole-brained individual, right? I would say, Christ prepares you to become a well-rounded individual, right? So it prepares you for the time to come. It prepares you to be a better individual. The connect with faculties, the amazing faculties, the kind of students your peer students that you collaborate with, all of it actually prepares you well for the professional and personal growth, I would say.
Oh, so that's a wonderful experience you are sharing. So coming to the next question. So what were the some of the biggest challenges you faced during the MBA program, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, I mean, biggest challenge, uh, uh, let me share something which could be relatable, right? I mean, I had a background in biology. Like I said at my introduction, biotechnology is something that I had studied for 4 years, and a little bit of technical inclination as well, right? I mean, because BTech, or Bachelor's in Technology, in biotechnology, was recently introduced. I think I was one of the first few batches when AICTE had introduced an official BTech in biotechnology courses. So I had a little bit of technical background as well. I would say, and proudly. But when I came to Christ, obviously, I didn't have a background on finance. I didn't have accounting background. I didn't have economics background to an extent. I mean, you study economics. Probably I studied economics only till 10th grade, right? I mean, in PUC, as they call it, or +2 as they used to call it, because prior to my engineering, I was with AMU. So obviously I didn't study economics then. So there is a little bit of honing and pre-work and prep that you need to really do to come across with the expectations around economics, accounting, trade, business. And then coupled with, you have amazing set of students that actually take admission in Christ, right? Specifically talking about the MBA program. And you must be realizing that, Alen, I'm sure. And you have the way MBA program is structured, right? I mean, this is by design. You get candidates, you get students from all walks of life, from diverse background. We had people from psychology. We had people from there was one person who had prepped for Army or NDA. There was somebody who was coming from a complete BBA background. There was somebody from hospitality background. And then people from different cities, different states, some of the students had experience, some of the students did not have experience. All of it is a beautiful amalgamation of various diverse background and experiences coming together. Now, this is all fantastic, but if you put yourself as an individual, right, you are coming with a certain expectation in mind, and then with the high standards that Christ MBA sets for you as a student, you will have to really push yourself up. Now, that pushing, obviously, I would say is a challenge if you see it in that way. But obviously, there is, like I said, there is amazing set of experienced faculty that we always had. And I still hear, Christ MBA faculties are one of the best. I still interact with the faculties in Christ MBA, right? So across various locations now. So obviously the Christ faculties, the coordinators make sure that you are at ease, you get what you essentially need to come up to speed. You have those mentorship sessions, and then you have amazing peers, right? Like I've been repeating, I think this is the third or fourth time I've repeated that, which consistently keeps on pushing you, into the right direction. So yeah, there is a challenge, but the challenge is a positive one, which will help you grow. Like we said in the previous conversation, help you grow both personally and professionally into a much more well-rounded individual and citizen.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. Can you share a moment or experience during your MBA program that you feel the best, which encapsulates your time at Christ? So the basically means the memories you had at Christ.
Well, Christ, there's so many memories that Christ, implants in a way in you, right? I mean, the various clubs that we have, the various, I think, the various experiences in terms of extempores, the speaking opportunities, especially somebody who considers himself or herself an introvert. I think Christ MBA really pushes you, to structure yourself to be able to speak in front of a crowd, right? I mean, I still remember my first experience coming into by the way, Christ has a beautiful auditorium, one of its kind. It's an experience to be in that auditorium, and obviously I had spoken in front of the class, I had spoken in front of a larger group. But when you come on the realm of an auditorium where all the floodlights are on your face, you really can't see the audience actually sitting on the other side. For someone like me who really wants to connect eye to eye with the audience sitting on the other side, I think that was one of the experiences which I received, which I would say I still remember, and I really didn't do that great, although there was a lot of backing that I received from my faculty, um, you know, and my peer students as well. But that actually kicked me. That actually, gave me an impetus to kind of improve myself, to kind of challenge myself even further. That's one memory I really want to share, because I know a lot of you hearing, and if you are pursuing MBA in Christ, you would experience this, right? The lights coming on your face, there's an audience sitting, there's just this whole aura, whole environment of, everything so massive, right? The other one I would say, I mean, I'm sure you still have Alosious, right? You have Alosious, and when you go out and asking, you go out for sponsorship. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean that Christ really requires sponsorship in terms of funding. The whole idea of having the sponsorship is to, to push the students to explore, experience, network, communicate, convince. I would say, when you go out and talk to people in corporate world, right? So I still remember one time when, this we were going out and asking for funding. I landed up with one of my with one of my peer students, right? In marketing, and we went to Red Bull office, which was at that point in time in UB City. And when we entered the Red Bull office, we had a different, I would say we were assuming a corporate office would be everybody so boring, everybody with tie and suit, and everybody would be a little rude. And we were taken aback when we saw a bunch of youngsters sitting, and they were having, I mean, they were having fun in a way, I would say, right? So the way we kind of interacted, I would say, and the way, I mean, end result is we were able to get sponsorship from Red Bull. They provided Red Bull cans, to everyone, to not everyone, but to good number of around 100 students. So they provided coupons to the students, and they had their banners, etc., in Christ at that point in time. That was a great experience, I would say. The way we had to I would say really interact, the way we had to introduce ourselves to a not so boring crowd, to a it was a good, it was a challenge in such in a good way. I would say some of these experience put together not only add to your memory, but also help you kind of grow into a much more confident individual, I would say.
Yeah, that's truly amazing. I also had one experience with the industrial to IPM. So we were also thinking like we were in the formals, blazers and suits, and we were thinking like the corporate office will be like that only. The every employees
You
will
went to
be,
IBM?
yeah, every employees will be, yeah. I went to IPM. So I thought every employees will be wearing blazers formally,
Yeah.
but the place is very cool. They are wearing casuals. They are talking very interactively. They are not tense. The work culture is very good at
Oh,
that.
absolutely, absolutely. Organizations have, evolved significantly in terms of how lean they are becoming, how matrix they are essentially becoming. So yeah, that notion of a very glass sealed, organization with glass ceilings, with tie and suits, with a very formal culture is restricted to certain sectors, I would say. Now, if you talk about banking, yes. For example, manufacturing, yes, but most of the organizations are actually evolving into much more matrix, much more leaner organization. So you'll see that kind of culture in most of the organization, I would say, especially IT. Yeah.
So, what advice would you give to the current or the prospective MBA students at Christ who are looking to achieve similar success in their careers?
First of all, I just want to reiterate anybody who is listening, viewing this, you are in a wonderful, one of the best places to be in. Christ as a brand, Christ as an institution, coupled with the MBA program, which is amazing in itself. You have got great faculties. You're blessed with peer students who are coming, who are one of the best that you can explore. You have got great infrastructure. Make use of all of that, right? I'm sure the curriculum, the intense curriculum, the time that you spend in the campus, the assignments and the test and whatnot would definitely keep you busy for 24 months. But make best use of that. Be patient. Consistency is the key, right? How you turn up, how you learn, how you explore. It's not about marks. It's about exploring. Make use of the industry interface, the corporate interface. Christ has an amazing placement wing as well, right? So be patient. You will definitely get opportunities. You have Christite spread across the globe, working across various sectors, various industries, various divisions, marketing, HR, finance, you name it, supply chain, etc., analytics. The alumni is actually spread. Make use of alumni connect, make use of corporate connect, explore, experience, and like I said, be consistent. And I think after 2 years, you will realize that you are a completely different individual than what you were when you had actually joined Christ, right? And I'm talking in a very positive sense. So Christ prepares you for life, right? Christ prepares you for a journey that's actually coming your way after 24 months, after you would have spent 24 months in the campus. So yeah, explore, experience, learn. That's actually very important, right? More than theory, right? So yeah, theory, anybody can open up the book and basically learn, but it's all about experience. So make the best use of the infrastructure, the students, the faculty that you essentially have in Christ, and success will come your way. You are at the best place.
So, one more last question.
Yeah.
So, you have been with Christ during your MBA program and after the MBA program. So, how do you see the MBA program at Christ is evolving to meet the needs of future business leaders?
Yeah, I that's a very apt question. I think Christ is one of the institutions which always as management, and I should give this to kudos to the management at Christ and especially the Christ MBA program for continuously thinking, recalibrating, evolving, the curriculum, the benchmark. In fact, Christ MBA has a committee which basically looks at, which reports to the overall Christ board, which also looks at, how competitive the curriculum is. And that, the reason I'm actually mentioning is that the Alumni Association team members and others, other alumni, Christites who are in various facets, various positions in the industry are invited to give their inputs for that, right? So obviously there is a continuous system of interaction with alumni in terms of, what is the skill that is in demand, what is the need of the industry, and I think Christ takes that very positively and continues to inculcate that in the training, in the curriculum as we go forward. I mean, at our point in time, I don't think so we had really separate specialization for, let's say, business analytics. I mean, you have it now, right? So Christ has been evolving, and I keep on hearing that the overall corporate interface program has evolved a lot. The alumni program has evolved a lot. So Christ continues to invest back in its students, right? And that as a culture, I think, has always been in practice since very, very long. So yeah, Christ continues to evolve. The industry holds Christites in absolute high regards, right? And that is not just because Christ has built a brand. I mean, brand is built by the students, right? But also the practitioners who have gone into industries and have shown success in various facets of life. I see that there's some who have also gone into civil services, etc., right? So there are people who have gone, who have succeeded, and these are the one who represents the brand, the consistent brand called Christ, right? So yeah, I think it continues to evolve, and kudos to Christ management, Christ MBA management, I would say.
Okay, thank you so much. It was a truly amazing experience sharing with me. Here it comes to an end of the interview session. So thank you, Samir, for sharing your experiences and insights with me today. So I appreciate your time and the valuable information you provided. So do you have any comments before we wrap up?
Thank you so much. The pleasure is all mine. I would say, like I said, I always admire the investment that Christ did on me personally, the investment that Christ continues to do on every individual. And kudos to Christ, I would say. I wouldn't have been here in any capacity, right? Talking to you, hadn't Christ groomed me in the way I am now, right? So yeah, Christ prepares you for an experience in life. And Alen, you enjoy your time at Christ, I would say. And anybody who is watching this, Christ is the place to be in. So no question, the pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I want to thank you once again for your time. Have a great day, sir.
You too have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye. All the best.